on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, and afterwards he will take a few questions. I'd like to introduce to you now Mr. Ernest Hughes, our acting executive chairperson, to make these few remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Good morning to everybody. So this is a press statement that we're about to make, and once we're done with that, Mr. Clark will also share copies with the press. So press statement, Thursday, December 14, 2023. The Board of Commissioners of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission is pleased to report that government officials governed by Liberia's Code of Conduct are responding overwhelmingly to the Commission's mandate to disclose assets and other financial information. As at the December 12, 2023 deadline, LACC has received close to 100 declarations from government officials across ministries, agencies, and commissions. The deadline for government officials to declare assets and other financial information expired on Tuesday, December 12, 2023. However, we are made aware that several government officials are currently away from the country on official business and have been unable to declare their assets or other financial information. Given that Liberia's current declaration system does not support remote declaration, must come in person to our offices, we encourage those officials away on official duties to come to LACC and comply immediately on their return. This is not an extension of the deadline. So I just want to emphasize that again. This is not an extension of the deadline. Rather, it's an opportunity to provide those government officials an opportunity to comply. The LACC is currently compiling a list of compliant and non-compliant government officials. Beginning next week, the LACC will publish listings of compliant and non-compliant government officials. LACC will follow a staggered approach and will publish the listings as follows: ministries, autonomous agencies and commissions, then the judiciary, the legislature, and finally we will conclude with the executive branch of government. Kindly visit the LACC office in Congo Town to pick up the forms, or visit the LACC website at www.lacc.gov.lr to download a form. Additionally, you may contact Patricia Barnaby at pbarnaby, and the Barnaby is spelled B-A-R-N-A-B-Y, at lacc.gov.lr, or at the following phone number 088-6498-725. I repeat, 088-6498-725 to collect forms or obtain more information on the declaration process. LACC would also like to take this time to draw the general public's attention to the following excerpts from the 2022 LACC Amended and Restated Act, which reads as follows. Part 5, Functions of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. And Section 5 goes on to Section 5.1 goes on and states that the Commission shall have the broad mandate and function to implement appropriate measures and undertake programs geared towards investigating, prosecuting, combating, and preventing acts of corruption, including educating the public about the ills of corruption and the benefits of its eradication. I want to specifically highlight Section 5.2, paragraph O, subparagraph 3, and it reads that without limiting the generality of Section 5.1, which I just read above, the Commission shall have the following specific functions: to institute and operate the asset declaration and verification regime of the government of Liberia pursuant to the Code of Conduct Act of 2014. In performance of this function, the Commission has the authority, and I'm not going to go through each of them, I'm only going to read subparagraph 3, allow or deny access to such declarations upon application to the Commission, subject to the condition that the Commission shall make disclosure of a person's declaration only where the Commission is satisfied that such disclosure is in the interest of the general public or where such disclosure is mandated or required by a court order. The LACC applauds all government officials complying with this mandate. We encourage government officials that have not done so to file a financial asset disclosure as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Acting Chairperson will now take questions. We'll ask 5 questions. Yes.
Yeah, Commissioner, good morning. I'm Judo Nukori and I come from Pram FM. My question is, you have given opportunity to those government officials who are out of the country on official business. There are some in country who felt reluctant during the time frame and have not declared that as a declaration. Are you also considering them to come forward to the LACC? Secondly, I know you're following the trend from the American government, imposing sanctions on some government officials alleged to be corrupt. Is the LACC making all efforts to ensure that those government officials being accused by the United States government submit to the LACC for further investigation? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So do I take one question? So regarding the first one, the issue about asset declaration is not a point in time thing where it's like you have to declare as of this date. It's a continuous process. So we set a deadline for those who are exiting to comply. But the whole process is recurring. So we encourage, as I said in my press statement, we encourage all of those who have not complied to comply. And even up to leaving my office just now, there are people who are still coming in, and we'll still accept the declaration, regardless of whether you're out of the country or not. We encourage, because what we're trying to achieve is full compliance. Did I answer your first question?
Yeah.
Okay. So regarding the second one about sanction officials, so this is a process. So we are going through our internal process. We have reached out to the U.S. Embassy to provide us, evidence. We're in talks with them to understand the nature and determine the whole thing around these sanctions. And we are going through our own internal processes, the team here looking at that information and also deciding what the next steps will be. We will not in this particular instance, but in the near future, we will be coming up and telling you guys what we're doing in regards to sanction officials. But I want to make this very clear. The issue of corruption is a priority of the government, it's a priority of LACC, and we are prepared and willing to do our work regardless of who's involved. Thank you.
Yeah.
So my name is Prince. I have a concern. So I'm from Focus on Liberia TV. So what happens, or how does officials of government who are reneging or who renege to come up to declare that asset, how does it affect the LACC work? I mean, what happens if like my colleague asked, there are others in country, or sometimes it might be deliberate or just maybe reluctant, and they do not want to come within the time frame. How does it affect the LACC work?
Yeah, so, and to answer your question, I would say this though. An effective disclosure system plays a very central role in promoting transparency, accountability, and integrity and ethical behavior in the public sector, right? And it also acts as a fundamental link between the broader anti-corruption goal. So, the whole issue about asset declaration coming forward is an integrity thing. It's something that will promote a culture of integrity. And this is a basic expectation, not just from us at LACC, but I think from the public at large. I think that's what we want as a country. We need to now start, that whole process around transparency and accountability, right? So if officials have not come forward yet, again, we're going through a process of determining who has complied and who has not complied. The first step, as I said earlier, we will be publishing the listing. But in addition to that, LACC has the authority to also impose additional sanctions and penalties. And so we'll be coming forward with that. We're just not there yet, and we're still giving people the opportunity to comply.
So can I ask a question? Okay, my name is Vasta Talu. My name is Vasta Talu. I work with ELBC Radio. So I want to know, you're still giving them the grace period for them to comply with the asset declaration. So what if they don't comply until they leave power? what is the next step of LACC?
And so that's what. So we're not giving a grace period. I want to clarify that.
Okay.
The whole process of asset declaration is a continuous process.
Okay.
It's a good thing, and we expect people to comply. But there is not a set time frame that saying you must comply as of this time. As part of our mandate, we've asked that those who are leaving to comply now, which is what we set that deadline. But there's no grace period. We're still encouraging people who have not complied to do so. And if they don't, as I said, we will be coming out with more sanctions and penalties and other things. But this will be in consultation and discussion with the broader government. Thank you.
And other question? No. Okay, thank you, ladies and
Just
gentlemen.
coming quickly.
Okay.
Sorry, I came a little bit late. My name is Shogun Flammer for Spoon TV. I am concerned, and I think many Liberians are concerned about your authority that you have now to prosecute corrupt officials, and comparing to that of the declaration they made before coming to power and after they leave power. If you find out there's any discrepancy, what would you do?
Again, there are certain remedies available in the Act for that. So if there's this, so the next steps after a declaration is done is the verification process. As part of verification, we'll be looking at what was declared versus what, based on a lifestyle, based on what else is out there, based on information we get from the public. I want to thank the press actually, because you guys have been very forthcoming. You've been providing information to us that we can act on. I also want to encourage the general public to use, we have an app, I think it's Talk It, the Talk It app. Okay. I want to encourage people to continue to use that to provide information to us. But the step that we're going through right now, which is declaration, is just the first step. So once that's in, we also go through a process of verification. And like I said, this is something that this government and the incoming government take very seriously, and LACC takes our role very seriously. So for those who don't comply, and if there is discrepancies, again, LACC has the authority for additional sanctions or penalties or whatever that's going to come out of that, including even jail time. So there is a lot is available, but we don't want to come out and just say we're going to do this until we have a time to assess and evaluate who hasn't complied, why, and those reasons.
Lastly, is LACC financially competent to go after these maybe corrupt officials that maybe may not comply with the asset declaration, and if they are private citizens, is LACC equipped or financially competent to go after them?
So that's a very good question, and I will tell you this: even in the great United States, right, funding is always an issue. There's always looking at how much we have, how much we need to do our work. But we have gotten a lot of assurances from the government that this whole issue around accountability is a priority. The incoming team, I think you've heard them talk, the President-elect, President Boka, has also made this a priority. So we know that we will get the funding and think that we need to do our work. We can't tell you right now that's where we are, but we're very confident with what we're hearing that this is going to happen. And if it doesn't, we'll come back again and let you guys know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you. Okay,
Right, so
at this
thanks
time we'll
for
ask
being
the commissioners to take leave of us.
I'm out.